With the eternal city on the banks of the Tiber at last freed from tyranny, Romans are in festive mood as the fighting men and vehicles of the Allies pass through the Italian capital. It took the Allied armies 9 months to hack their way from Salerno to Rome, but they'd covered half the distance from Rome to Florence in 2 weeks. Such is the speed of the present advance. So quickly did the Germans fall back that the cathedral city of Orvieto was left untouched. The townspeople cheered the victorious Allied troops as they pushed on through the town towards their next objective. Nazi prisoners, many of them mere boys, showed undisguised relief at being out of the war, an attitude of mind now encountered by the Allies on all 3 German fronts. Another liberated town, Allerona, South African artillerymen hauling their 25-pounders through the streets in pursuit of Kesselring's forces. Right through the 24 hours of each day, aircraft of the Royal Air Force are attacking Hitler's fortress of Europe. On aerodromes all over Britain, during the hours of daylight, bombers and crews of the 2nd Tactical Air Force take off to strike blows in the softening up of occupied territory. And as darkness falls, the engines of the heavy bombers of Bomber Command start up to complete the non-stop offensive, which the RAF, in cooperation with the Allied Air Forces, is carrying out with devastating effect. The targets which must be attacked and destroyed are scattered over a vast area and affect the whole Nazi military machine. Big coastal batteries, gun sites and shore defenses, e-boat pens and hideouts, railway centers, goods yards and engine repair shops. Industry of every kind which helps to arm the German forces. And so, all day and all night, aircraft of the Allied Air Forces are in the air, carrying out this vital work. It's the aim of the Allied Air Forces to see that the railways can't carry the peak load for the Germans to repel the invasion, and so they are bombed. It's estimated that already Hitler has had to withdraw 50,000 skilled railwaymen from Germany to end the chaos on the French and Belgian railways caused by the Allied attacks. The Allies are destroying, too, the sources in occupied Europe of Hitler's armaments. The Royal Air Force seeks them out wherever they may be, marks them, and bombs them at night with as deadly precision as in daylight. And in the daytime, power stations supplying electricity for factories and railways steelworks and locomotive works. This list can have no end until the Germans give in. On land, in the neighborhood of Tilly-sur-Seulles, British forces open a fierce attack at dawn. By evening, the village was in British hands, and German snipers were being rounded up. Around Caen, scene of most bitter fighting, Allied paratroops cut off from their main forces were kept supplied from the air. In this way, isolated pockets of men were able to keep on fighting until finally relieved by their advancing comrades. It was a grim holding action by the British and Canadians which enabled the American troops to seal off completely the Cherbourg Peninsula. These pictures were taken on the outskirts of Cherbourg during the swift American assault on the port. Efficient, speedy medical aid is given to wounded troops. They are conveyed to waiting landing craft, which run a regular shuttle service across the channel. The more seriously wounded are flown to England in transport planes. Within an hour or so, these men will be transferred to trains on British soil for speedy delivery to hospitals inland. Around Cherbourg, enemy snipers, well hidden, picked off Americans and then, to save their own skins, surrendered to the Yanks. A dirty business, and the Americans got tough. The surrender of General von Schlieren, commanding the Cherbourg area. The capture of Cherbourg is a great victory for the Allies, but it does not conceal the fact that the road from Normandy to Paris is long, and the road to Berlin still longer.